webinar. This session is being conducted by Vinay Chauchuria. Vinay works with the NBFC and he carries extensive experience in banking financial services domain. And Vinay has trained more than 1,500 people on Excel. Last session, there was good number of registrations and people participated in the session, and lots of people had sent a request to have a follow-up session covering advanced Excel, and Vinay has been kind enough to give us another 2 hours, 1.5 hours of his time for this webinar. Thanks, Vinay. Vinay, I invite you to conduct the webinar, and I now pass the presenter control to you. Kindly accept my presenter control. Your screen is visible.
Yeah, am I audible now?
Yeah, your screen and voice both are audible.
Yeah, thank you for the introduction and welcome all. Yes, this is a follow-up session. So we will just do a quick recap of what was done in the last training session. So last time we touched upon basic formulas like if, sum if, countif. We also learned about sum ifs and countifs. Along with that, we had a detailed understanding of VLOOKUP. How does VLOOKUP work and what are the various arguments of VLOOKUP? And with all this, the important concept that I wanted everyone to understand and keep with you for lifelong was the referencing thing, wherein we used to put dollars either before row or column, which helps you to make your formulae work as you wish. So that means if you want to drag it up, down, right, left. So if you want to change the column or row, it will depend upon the position of dollar you have put. So today, I don't think we will be able to learn all those things again. But yes, at the end of the session, during the Q&A, if anybody has any doubt pertaining to any of the topics which I mentioned, like if, sum if, countif, VLOOKUP, or the referencing thing, I would like to touch upon that. Today, we are focusing on quite diverse topic, which includes data validation. Index is a very complex formula, but last time there were quite a few requests for index. So hence the reason I have included index. Conditional formatting and pivot tables. So these are the broad 4 topics that we are going to cover in today's session. Similar to last time, participants can post their question through chat, or they can just make a note of their just make a note of their queries, and that we will be doing try to resolve it in the end of the session. I hope my voice is clear to all. Just try to be responding on the chat message with a done or a yes, or if you have any questions, you can post it on the chat box. I hope the team has already shared the Excel with you. So let's start with the data validation topic. So as you can see, Excel is made up of rows, columns, and the smallest part is the cell. By default, a user can type anything in the cell, whether it is special characters or alphabets, alphanumeric, anything. Now, if we want a user to have control over the cells, that means if you want restricted entries which a user can put in the cell, there is something called as data validation. Now, what does data validation means? Now, suppose age, I want user to put age here, but I want them to put age only in whole numbers. Nobody should put age something like this. Or if I want someone to put their mobile number, then I should have a restriction of number of characters so that nobody can enter a character more or a character less. So to control all these things, there is a function in Excel which is called as data validation. It is under the data tab. You can see here, it is data validation. Everybody please locate this particular tab, data validation. Depending upon the various Excel versions you must be using, you have to find it out, but this is the latest Excel version and most of the guys must be using this. So this is under data tab, data validation. Now once you click on data validation, by default you will see any value. Aishwarya, you have to find it because if I think there is some issue with the system that you are using. So any value is by default setting. Now, if you see the drop down under this, you have whole number, decimal, list, date, time, text length, and custom. Now, as the name suggests, whole number will be something that you can put only the whole number, which is like 1 to a bigger number. Decimal is, again, you can put any numbers, no characters. List is, you have to define some entries only which the Excel will take. Date as name suggests, time as name suggests, and text length. So here we will be sort of touching upon all that thing. So let's start with whole number. Now let's say I have to apply the validation part on this cell. In Excel, always remember selection is the most important thing. So if I have to apply on this particular cell, so this cell should be selected. So this cell is selected. I am going to data validation. I want to put a whole number. So by default, it is asking me, it is giving me some options. So let's say I want to select a number, let's say between 10 to 100. Done. Okay. Now, if I am typing 11, because this number lies between 10 to 100, Excel has accepted it. Now, suppose if I want to type 9, I am pressing enter. So here it is saying that the value does not match the data validation restriction defined for this cell. So this is how data validation is created. And this can be used for creating multiple databases if you are working with HR, marketing, or any sort of database that you handle. You must be finding that people are putting random values and you want to restrict them for their usages. So this is something is of use. So you can try this whole number thing and then we will move to list. Similarly, you can try the decimal thing, date thing, and then we will move to list. If any doubt, please post it on the chat. And once you are done with this whole number and date and other thing, just send a confirmation message so that we can move to the list part. Yeah, Merlin, you can send your query. I don't think it is feasible to make you presenter right now. So you can send your query. I will try and address
Sorry,
it.
it was by mistakenly done, sir.
Okay, no issues. All participants, please try and be on mute mode. Those who have joined just in last couple of minutes, we are under data validation. We have done the whole number thing and now we are moving to the list thing. Now suppose under list, now you want the user to put only, let's say, 4 or 5 values. Now let's say those values are relationship. So whether it is brother, mother, spouse, or father, mother, sister. Okay, there are 6, 7 entries that you want the user can put, right? So here I want to create a list validation. So I will go under validation. I will select list. Now it is asking me source. So either I can type out those names in some of the cells. So let's first type it out, those names. I'm just writing those names in the random cell, but whenever you are making a database or whenever you are working, you have to be very sure where you are creating this source. So let's say something like this. So you have created this list. Now you want that user should enter data only from this. So under data validation, you have to select list. Here it is asking source. So you can select the source. So this is my source. Okay. So now if you see, before the list validation, there was no drop down which was appearing. Now there is a drop down and you can see whatever entries you have stored, you can see those entries and the user can select only those entries. Now if a user come and he wants to type something, it will not accept it. So this is how you create a list validation. So please try this list validation. The other way of list validation is, instead of source, let's say I am just typing something simple, ABC, DEF, GHI. So you can type those names there also. You can use any way. You can use the source method also, or you can type out your requirements with a comma separator over there, and it will yield you the same results. So please try the list validation, and once done, please post a OK, or for any queries, post your queries. Yeah, so I will repeat this once again. We are doing list validation. So let me remove the validation from here. So I am going to any value. So here first you have to understand the objective. The objective is that you want some restricted entries in the selected cell. Now what are those restricted entries? Either it can be whole number, decimal, date. So all those we have seen. So now we want a user who can enter only these entries. How to achieve that? Go to data validation. You have to select list, source. So this is my source. Only these entries are possible. So only these entries are now visible under the drop down. Try it once. I don't think that anyone will find it difficult to achieve this. Yeah, we can apply data validation in different cells at same time. So let's say if I want to apply data validation on all these cells, suppose this is one cell of relationship column, right? And I know that this database is going to be long. So I can select this, I can do data validation, list, source, select the source, okay. So now on every cell the data validation is applied. Somesh, I hope this answers your query. Great. So now you have a small assignment a small task to achieve. Now suppose now you have seen a simple data validation wherein you can you have defined the validation and you know how to apply a list validation. Now suppose you all of us must be creating email IDs or filling some forms. So you must have seen in those forms that there are dependent validation. When I say dependent validation, like when you select the country, then only states of those countries appear. Similarly, let's say if you select a particular education stream, then only those particular courses of those stream appear. So these are called as dependent validation. Now, in this cell, you have to create a drop down wherein the country names should appear: India, China, Nepal. And under the state, you should create a drop down wherein if India is selected, then it should give drop down only as ABC. If China is selected, it should give drop down only as DEF, and similarly for Nepal. So I hope I am clear. Here you have to create a drop down with country names, and here you have to create drop down with the state for that particular country. Everybody can proceed, please. I hope the task is clear. At least the country part. I hope this once again is for the question. So here you have to create the drop down for countries. So here the drop down should show India, China, Nepal. And here, once you select India, it should show drop down of ABC. I hope some of you get this one. It has some link to our last webinar. I am not sure how many of you have attended the last webinar. But I want that everybody should give a good attempt to it. Fine. So I think I should. Has anybody got it right? Okay. I think I will show you how to achieve this. So create drop down, create drop down. So here, as I told, that you have to create the country drop down. So under data validation, list source. What is my source? This is my source. Okay. So now you got India, China, Nepal. Now the task was, if one select India, then here it should only be ABC. Now getting A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I was very simple. You have to select the entire source. But because we have restricted it, it should have been only A, B, C. Now how to achieve this? Data validation, list. See, there is no doubt that we require a list. So it is only the list thing which will solve our query. So here I know ki if it is India, it should be ABC. But let's say if a user selects China, then this will not change. It will always show ABC, ABC, ABC. So the way to achieve this is, here it will be, if this cell is India, then this will be source, comma, if this cell is equal to China, then this will be source, else this will be source. Bracket close, bracket close. Now let's see what results it gives. So India, it is giving ABC. For China, I hope it should give DEF. Yes, it is giving DEF. Similarly, for Nepal, it should give GHI. Now for simplicity purpose, you can just make a note of this formula first, because this is the if formula which we have done last time. So we are just using the concept from our previous class. So if A11 is equal to India, then it should be G6 to I6. Similarly, if A11 is equal to China, then it should be G7 to I7, or else the Nepal thing. See, these all examples are for clearing making your concepts clear. So you have to understand the power of Excel. I know that these kind of examples you don't face in real life problems, but the point here is that you understand these concepts, you can learn from these concepts and you can apply to your own problems. And this will help you to understand the power of Excel, to what extent it can help you in creating database, playing with numbers, playing with characters. Yeah, so I was expecting this. If there are 100 countries, then I need if formula for every country. Very pertinent question. So let me show you how to deal with that. So if this is done, see, this is to understand the concept. Now let's go beyond this concept and question the answer. If there are 100 countries, how to achieve this? Now suppose let me delete this. Let me have start with any value again. Fine. So now I don't have anything. Now suppose if I have 100 countries. So for example, imagine there are 100 countries, though we are working with 3. So how many times a guy will write if? He will get literally a headache while writing if, and there will be human errors. There will be changes. So he can't go to that cell and change it again and again. So in Excel, there is something called as name manager. What is name manager is, now this ABC, these states belong to which country? They belong to India. Similarly, DEF belongs to China. Similarly, GHI belongs to Nepal. So in Excel, now what we will do is we will define names. So ABC, we will call it as India. This we will call it as China. This we will call it as Nepal. So I am selecting this, the area which I want to do the naming. Under formula tab, there is something called as name manager. I am going to name manager. Now, can you see new? So I am clicking on new. Sorry. Under name and under formula, there is name manager, and you have to select create from selection. So I am clicking on create on selection. Now it is asking create names from values in the left column. So left column is something that I want to name everything. So what will happen with this is ABC will be tagged as India, DEF will be tagged as China, GHI will be tagged as Nepal. Now I assume that this is for the first time you guys are exposed to name manager and everything, so it will take time, but let me try and see that I can explain these concepts in a very fluid manner. So we have defined names, and now once you click on name manager, you can see, okay, China is defined as DEF, India is defined as ABC, Nepal is defined as GHI. So assume you are having many countries, all those countries names are defined over here. Now close. Now what is the use of this? Name to define कर दिया, but इसको use कैसे करना है? So now again, let's see how to make a use of this. So Nepal, I will go to data. I am going to data validation, list equal to. Now, as we know that we can't use if because we have dealing with 100 countries. So there is another formula which is called as indirect. Indirect is that because I have referred some states to a country, now I am calling them back. So indirect, मुझे किसका स्टेट चाहिए? मुझे नेपाल के स्टेट्स चाहिए. नेपाल कहां पे लिखा हुआ है? इस सेल में लिखा हुआ है. ठीक है. So indirect Nepal is give me states stored in Nepal. Okay, so I will get GHI. Now just see, मैंने इसको इंडिया कर दिया. So data validation में क्या हो गया? Indirect India में क्या हो गया? ABC आ गया. Similarly for China, you can check China. So it will show you this. So I will repeat the steps again. You have a small database of countries and state. You will go to name manager, formula under name manager. You will click on create from selection because you have selected. See here again, the selection was important because you wanted to create names of only these particular part. So I have not selected this entire thing. I have selected only this thing. And then Excel asked me कि आपको names किसको define करना है. So I selected left column. So India, China, Nepal का name define हो गया. वो name define हो गया. Then I came to data validation. Under data validation, I defined indirect and A11. So when I defined indirect A11, it used indirect China में क्या stored था. So this is how it worked. So I would like that everybody please give a attempt to it. And any queries, please write in the chat box. Anuj, I hope I have resolved your question. Multiple if functions are separated by comma. If A11 is equal to this, then this. So there is one more equal to which is not required. The second if, after second if, so Siddhi, आपने है ना, you have put brackets which are not required and one equal to which is not required. So Siddhi, this we will take in Q&A session because now if we go to the if function, we will be digressing from our topics. So let's park this for a separate Q&A session, or we can discuss this later. Yeah, so source from other sheet, I think it is still disabled in Excel, so it is not possible. Source has to be in the same sheet, or let me try, because in the earlier versions of Excel, this was not possible. So I have also not tested it. No, I think it works. It works. Source from other sheet also works. It works. Yeah, so with this, we are done with data validation. So primarily we looked at three main things, something related to numbers. So whole number, decimal, date, time. Then we move to list. Under list, you have to define your entries. So there can be 4 or 5 entries. You can define either it in source or you can type those entries in the data validation window. And the last thing that we saw was dependent validation. Means if you select something in one cell, the drop downs in other cells should get impacted. And for that, we try to solve it by if in the data validation window, or we learned a very beautiful thing called as name manager, where you can store values in some name, and through indirect function, you can use those values. So data validation ends over here. We are taking a small 1 minute, 2 minute break. You can just settle yourself with data validation. Then we will move to the index function. Yeah, so now let's move to index function. So one thing which I would like to tell you about index function is that index, see, as a formula, it is not a difficult formula, but in terms of application, it is used only in complex formula. So, and people who are working on extensively on financial models, or their Excels having multiple sheets, they are day in, day out dealing with data, databases. Only there, all these functions have usage. And in Excel, see, there are formulas like index, VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, offset, then other formulas. And the thing is that instead of VLOOKUP, you can use index also. So it's not that at a place only an index can be used or only a VLOOKUP can be used. So these formulas are interchangeable at many places. So it's not that a guy should always understand index and he should know index thoroughly. So here my point is that anybody from the participants who are not well versed with, let's say, the dollar concept or if formulae or VLOOKUP, I would want that they just listen to the index thing, because see, it's a learning Excel to me is a step by stage wise process. No point in graduating to a directly advanced thing and struggling with a basic like dollar concept, if and VLOOKUP. So my submission would be that those who are new to Excel, so they can skip the index thing. So here I would start with index. So similar to VLOOKUP, it is equal to index. So before where index is used. So like in VLOOKUP, you have a small Excel database. You define a table and you try to search for a lookup value, and then you define the from which column you want to retrieve that value, and based on that Excel returns that value. So the limitation for VLOOKUP was that your lookup value should always be in the first column of your database. Only that one part is the limitation. Now with index as such, I would not say it's a substitute for VLOOKUP or it's an advanced VLOOKUP. Index to some extent gives you is used where VLOOKUP is used, but index also has many other usage areas. But I will just try to demonstrate how a index can be replaced as a VLOOKUP. Now, to start with, let's explain you this in a very simple way. So we are going to learn the first wala type, array, row number, column number. So let's say if I define this as my array, right? And I am pressing F4. Now I have defined this as an array. Now all of us at different point in time of our life must have used graph paper. Now similar to graph paper, or not graph paper, let's just think this of a matrix as of 5 by 5. So this is my 1 comma 1, this is 1 comma 2, 1 comma 3, 1 comma 4, 1 comma 5. So these are my column 1 and row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Similarly, column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. So this is a 5 by 4 matrix. Now let's say if I want the value which is in column B and row 2. So I know it is in row 2. So I will type 2. And I know it has to be of column B. Now, what is the position of column B in my data table? If you see, it is 3. So the column number B is position 1, column number C is position 2, and column number B is position 3. So if I type 3, my formula is ready. Now what is there in 2 comma 3? In 2 comma 3, the value is B, alphabet B. So let's see if we are getting answer as B. So we are getting answer as, one second, B. So I want here everybody just try this basic simple index thing, and then I will tell you where all this index function is used. So just first understand how this is working. There will be many queries pertaining to index. Let me see how in the best possible way I can solve those queries for you. So first you have to select the array, then it is row number count and the column number count. So here you will ask, you are counting and typing it. So then what is this formula? This is a very manual work. So I will come to all those points. But for now, just type this formula. Just change this 2 comma 3 to various different numbers. And before pressing enter, just think of which alphabet should come. And let's see how confident are you and how you should get all the right answers. So you will at least understand how the cells are moving. And once done with this basic index, please give your feedback, either done or any questions in the chat box. Yeah. Is the basic index part done? You have to select the array. I am freezing the array on both the sides, column and rows. And there are only two more arguments left, which is row number and column number. I have put 2 and 3. So 2 is my row number, 3 is my column number. So don't confuse between that it is under column D, so it is 4. See, you have to take a column count from here. Column 1, column 2, column 3, and column 4. So this is your column count. So here I have put column B and row 2 value. So that's the reason I have written 2 and 3. So as and when you change the database, so let's say if I have changed this, now if I am asking 2 comma 3. So which is my 2? This is my 2 row. Which is my column 3? This. So it should show F. F is the answer. F. So please try and understand this in a very simplistic way as possible. Don't hurry. And again, for the sake of repetition, those who have not tried VLOOKUP or any complex formulae, please don't attempt this because it's a stage-wise learning process. No point in learning a fighter jet if you don't know cycle. So just go step by step. Yeah, I can see at least 8-10 people have said done. Now see these 2 comma 3 currently they are manually inputted by me. So how to replace this? So in previous session we have learned a formula called as match. So index is almost accompanied by match function in almost all the formulas. So index and match as a combination uh, gives you more hold on your database, because if your Excel is having constant headers and if you know which row number data you want, so combination of both give you access to the data of entire table, unlike VLOOKUP wherein the lookup value has to be always from the first row. So this constraint is removed from index function. So this is one of the major application of index. Apart from this, index and offset along with match are also used for creating dynamic graph. Now dynamic graph is altogether a very different animal. It is like learning all the formulas in Excel and then using those in graphs, so that as and when the values or any input from the user changes, your graphs changes in terms of time period, in terms of scale and all those things. So index, offset and match, they have a very decent application while using advanced graph, or sometimes also called as dynamic graph. So you guys must have you must have seen dashboards in Excel. So that is the place where index, offset and match are used to create those kind of graphs. So I will not be getting deeper into index. I will leave index over here. If in future we get one more session, then we will see how to understand index at a deeper level. But for now, I'm stopping index over here. So index is, you have an array, you define row number, column number to get your value. Row number, column number most of the times are replaced by the match function, which gives you a numeric number so that you can pull out your required value. Any specific doubt on match? Please post it in the chat box before we proceed to conditional formatting and pivot tables. You can make note of the type of formulas that I have mentioned: index, offset, match, VLOOKUP. See, one good thing is that all this literature in a very simple, lucid manner is explained in. If you do any Google search, you will get all those answers. So the only thing is that you should know what is the application and you should have a brief idea how to use all this. So just make note of this all formulas. whenever you have free time, whenever you find it difficult to apply a formula, you can always go to Google search. Please show us an index match example. So see, index match example, let's say I will show you index match example. So suppose you have a database like this. See, I will not get into details of how to apply this. I will just try to explain you. Name, now suppose you have some database like this. Now, again, I am telling you, these are very crude examples. Please don't underestimate the power of index and match. I am taking very crude examples. Now, suppose in the first example, if I want to find age of B, right? So I have to do VLOOKUP, lookup value, array F4, comma 2, comma 0. This simple VLOOKUP, I get the age of B, right? Now, suppose in my database, only these 4 peoples are there. And if I tell you that I want to find designation of the guy who is working with HUL, right? Designation of guy who is working in HUL. So here I can select this formula is right. What I have to do here is I have to cut paste this. I think somebody has, yeah. I have to cut paste this in the first column and then do the entire thing. But let's say with index and match, suppose if I define HUL is my this, I want to find age of the person who is in HUL. I am breaking this in various steps so that it is easier to understand. Match, what is the lookup value? This lookup array is this F4 comma 0. So you get a 3 equal to match. This is my lookup value. Where is age? This F4 comma 2. So you got a 3 comma 2. Now equal to index. This is my array, comma row number. This is my row number, comma this is my column number. So with this, ideally you should get answer as 12. So you are getting 12. Again, I am repeating, this was not one of the best example, but just to understand you the concept, how match and index are used together. So here I have linked here this, but ideally I should have written match formula over here so that it should have thrown a 3 and a 2. But for simplicity purpose, I have written match outside, second match outside, and index inside this. So this was not one of the best example, but for understanding in a very simpler manner, I have not complicated stuff. So this is how index and match are used. Yeah, so all this name manager, these are very much related to Excel. Google Sheets doesn't have all this, and there are other limitations in Google spreadsheets. So these all are only pertaining to Microsoft Excel. Yeah, so index match, combination of index match. Yeah, let's proceed to conditional formatting. Gaurav, I hope I have given you some background of how to use index and match. Let's proceed to conditional formatting. Now, you must have already got this sheet. Now, with conditional formatting, this is not that advanced a topic, but very useful for everyone who is working on Excel. Now here, before teaching, I will ask you to do some assignments. Now, for this cell, I want you to highlight all the cells which are greater than 5. So what is conditional formatting? Based on the data which is stored in the cell, Excel should do the formatting. So for the column A, I want wherever the value is more than 5, it should be, the cell should be in red color. So like from here, it should be in red color. And as and when I change this to 4, it should have gone. But because I have done a permanent formatting, so I want you to do this with conditional formatting. Now, Gaurav, I will try and answer you in the Q&A. But ideally, I have used it in this in a one go only. It was just that I use different cells, but I will try and that in Q&A. So please proceed with conditional formatting. Highlight all the values which are more than 5. Conditional formatting is under the home tab. Here you can see conditional formatting. This topic is not difficult, but again relevant and important topic. So I thought let's cover this during the session. Those who are done with this highlight value which is more than 5 can proceed to column F, where you have to highlight the unique values. Yeah, I hope everybody is done with the column A. If not, please post on chat box and proceed to column F. So just for people who have not achieved it, so you have to select the data, go to conditional formatting, new rule. So I have to define new rule. Now you can see there are various options. Format all cell based on their values. Okay, this is one option. Format only cells that contain, one more option. So similarly, there are different options. So let's try and see format cell that contains. So cell value is greater than 5. Format fill red color. Okay. Now just read this in simple English. Format only cells with cell value greater than 5 in red color. Okay, so this is how you achieve this. As I told you, if let's say if this is changed to 40, ideally it should become red. Yes, it is becoming red. If this changed to 0, it is gone. If it again becomes 6, it is gone. If it is like 5.001 also, it is in red color. So with this, the basic simple conditional formatting is done. Please come to column F. Here you have to highlight the unique cells. When I say uniques, so basically all the A should get highlighted. Sorry, all the things which are unique, like if a B is unique, if R is unique, those who are not duplicating. So again, you have to select this, go to conditional formatting, new, new rule, format only unique or duplicate values. So our ask is unique. Let's say this time we go with this color. Okay, okay. So let's say if instead of A, if I type B over here, then B will become duplicate. So the color from the another B will also go. So this is used when you are working with database. You have to find whether any duplicates are there, any uniques are there. So there are various application of this. So please try for column A and column F, and then you move to column K. Uh, People, any doubt with the first two part, please post on the chat box. Similarly, K is very simple, but it is not in conditional formatting. Please try and see how to achieve the K thing. Again, a very simple, very easy tool is already inbuilt in Excel. I hope many of you must have uh, uh, got into this situation where you want to remove the duplicates, but you find it difficult. So I will explain you. So this is the data. I'm just for the reference copy pasting over here. Now, what were the duplicate value here? Mostly A is duplicating, and just for making more relevant, let's say I'm duplicating B also. So that means A and B are duplicating. So total here 10 values are there. And if A and B are duplicating and I want to remove duplicates, so that means I want to remove the duplicate entries. So two entries should go. This A entry and this B entry should go. So I am selecting this under home tab, sorry, under data tab. There is something called as remove duplicates. You can see this icon. It will help you to locate this remove duplicate. It is asking whether I want to expand the selection or continue. I want to continue the current selection, and I have to just press remove duplicates. Okay, so see, those two A and B which were repeating are gone. So please try this, all the three, highlighting uniques and remove duplicates. And if any query, please post it on the chat box. So let's now proceed to okay, second one I will repeat. Second one, that means the unique wala thing. Okay, so see, suppose if you have something like this, A S B E A S B E. Now this entire database have nothing is unique here. Only let's say this Z is unique. So I will select, go to home, conditional formatting, new rule, format only unique or duplicate value. You want to highlight only uniques. Format, you can select any color from the palette. Okay, okay. See, so only Z is getting highlighted. Suppose if you change this to also Z, then Z will get normal and E will get highlighted because that is the only unique. So very basic. It all depends upon what kind of work profile you have. So there you will definitely find application of all this. Great. So let's move to the last topic for today's session, which is pivot table. Again, pivot table is like one of the widely used tool. And here, so for pivot table, one of the basic requirement is that you should have a good and a clean database to perform your functions. So that is where a pivot table will yield you good results. So I will just make you guys familiar with this particular database first. So this has name of the companies. There are some credit ratings which are assigned. There is some classification like whether it is into road sector or renewable sector, in which particular sector it is, whether it is wind, solar, or in roads, what kind of project it is, whether it is under construction, operation, in which particular entity it is. There are different entities, whether it is a infrastructure business or a non-infra, and what kind of loan is given to the particular client. Right. So this is the database, and here basically different sort of analysis can be required. So one can ask that, please tell me how much is the outstanding for a particular credit rating, or how much is outstanding for wind sector, or how much is under construction, how much is under operational. So there can be a number of analysis which can be performed using this. At the same time, all this can be done with the simple SUMIF formula also. But so again, some understanding SUMIF and application of SUMIF is important. But pivot table helps you to create all this requirement at a click of your mouse. So everyone is just familiar with the data. So now let's see how to use this. It is under insert pivot table. So you have to click. I think first, please have a look at the screen. Let me first demonstrate how to use pivot table in a very basic, simple way. It's always good that you go for a new worksheet while creating a new pivot table. Okay. So the pivot table is created. Now here on the right side, pivot table field is the, you can call it as a drawing board where you can make different combinations to get the result. So let's say I can pick this rating and put this in rows. So you will get all the unique ratings. I want total, I can put this in values. So you will get the value across the ratings. Similarly, if I want the breakup across rating and how much is under construction, operational or corporate, I can put this in column. So this is how you play with pivot table to get the end answer. So you have ratings, you have under construction, operation, everything. Now let's say there are, as I told you, that there were subsectors also like wind, solar. So that I can put under filters, and from here I can just select how much is under wind sector, suppose. So select multiple. I'm unchecking this. I will just say how much is under, let's say, solar. So this is under solar. So this is combination of your sum if, count if, everything together. So I'm just deleting this sheet again. I will just show you how to create a pivot table. So insert pivot table. Okay. And this is the drawing board which you need. So please start, select your combinations between row, columns, values, filters. In values, it always has to be some numeric data point so that it can do the value. In rows, columns, the way in which you want to see the data. And in filters, if it is divided into 2 or 3 major filters, you can put that in filter. So please start pivot table on your PCs, and let me know if you have any difficulties in using pivot table. Sorry, I didn't understand your query. Priyadarshani, while separating row column filter, I didn't understand your query.
Sir, actually, in drag fields between areas below is given, right? So in that there are four options like filters, column, rows, and values.
Right. Yeah. So see. Yeah, I will help you. See. So if I want the data that all the ratings should be in rows, so I have to drag this. Can you see I have dragged it and I am putting it under rows. So you will get this way. If you have selected it, and let's say if you want to put it in column, this will just look something like this. So it is more soothing to eyes if you look this data in a vertical fashion instead of horizontal fashion. So it's just how you want to represent the data.
Can
now
we
yeah, sorry.
Can we have two values in same box? I mean, filters means can I filter any two values? For example,
Yes,
rating and entity.
yes, you can. So suppose now let's say if I will just help you. So total is this. Now, as you mentioned that let's say classification is also my filter. and subsector is also my filter. So what is there under classification? All this. So let's say if I want to see all the road renew projects, and within road renew, I want to see all the solar. So you can have multiple filters. I hope this helps. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Participants, any more query on pivot? See, pivot again, it is a very vast topic. So the objective here was to get introduced you to pivots, and so that you guys start using these tools. If you have any specific to pivots, please post, or else we will start with Q&A session. We have a good 10-15 minutes left. Yeah, so see, again, all this things what I have showed you, these are tip of iceberg. There are multiple analysis, multiple things which are done using pivot tables. Now, it is not possible to cover each and every type of example. So this is just a glimpse of pivot table. Yes, sum is one of the important part, but taking counts to see the linkages between ratings and to which sector it belongs to. So there are multiple things which are used, yes, but taking sum and slicing and dicing data at a click of the button is one of the major application of pivot table. See, as such, there is no specific application or tools for HR related work. See, again, it's like if in Excel there are 100 formulas or tools, at least minimum 70 are used across domain. So it's good to know each of those in detail, and 30 specific formula or tools which will be, let's say, specific to individual industries. So let's say, for example, IRR formulae, NPV formulae, or your statistics formulae, those must be having usage only in finance. Then your date functions, year functions, they find application in HR also, marketing also, finance also. Similarly, your functions like VLOOKUP, they are used across the industry. So I would say that there are no specific HR specific thing. There is then filter, sorting, data validation, conditional formatting. Again, these are used across industries. So as such, no specific uh, tool or formula only specific to HR. At least I don't see Excel from that perspective, that okay, this is used only in HR, this is used only in marketing or finance, or let's say for college students. So every formula finds application across industry. Participants, please post your queries. It can be related to today's session, or if you have any specific doubt in Excel, I will try and see if we can solve it over this online session itself. Yeah, so I was just coming to this index match example. So Gaurav, basically here we have separated index match. So now let me see. I will combine this for you. Index. So this is my array. F4 comma. See here I want row number. What is row number? 3. So how I will get 3? Match. What is the lookup value? This is my lookup value for match, comma. What is the array where I have to match? This, comma 0. So one match is done, comma another match. What is the lookup value? This, comma where I need to search here, comma 0. See, so this is nothing, Gaurav, but I have combined it in for understanding purpose. I have separated it into 2 or 3 cells, and there will be the last bracket close for the index function. So again, as like in if I told you the number of brackets are important for any formula, the number of brackets are important. So with this index match is complete, and it will give you the same result. So you can have a look at this formula. So instead of 3 comma 2 ka linkage, I have created the match function over there. So it appears to be a complex thing, but once you know the syntax of what comes before and after each comma, what are the arguments, how are those arguments written, it is, believe me, it is not that difficult. With some practice and some understanding, you can easily learn this. Great.
Hi, Vinay, Rajesh here.
Yeah, Rajesh.
Can we have some 5 shortcuts? We proposed some shortcuts for the participants. Can we suggest some 5 shortcuts very frequently used?
Yeah, sure. So shortcuts, see, all those basic Windows shortcut, I know everybody must be aware. Control C, Control V, Control X, all those. So see, for Excel specific shortcuts now, the thing, the how Excel shortcuts have evolved. Let me give you some history to that. See, because I am power user of Excel, I am using Excel for last almost 15 years now. So I was introduced to Excel version of 2003, or let's say before that. So that time, the shortcut, let's say, which was there for opening filter or sorting or for anything was different. Today, it is different. But what Microsoft has done is they have still tried to retain the old shortcuts for the new application. But the thing which they have not retained is the way of learning shortcut. It is there to some extent, but not completely. So I will tell you, instead of teaching you shortcut, I will tell you how to learn shortcut. So to learn shortcut, you are on Excel. If you just press Alt, so can you see that below every tab there is one alphabet which is appearing? So once you press Alt, it gives you the shortcut for that particular tab. So if you want to go to data, it is A. Then you will get under A. Now I will tell you that I don't know shortcut. What is a specific shortcut for filter in 2000 in the latest version of Excel? What I know is for filter, the shortcut is Alt DFF. So let's say I am here, I want to apply filter. So Alt DFF. So filter is applied. Now this path, Alt DFF, was used somewhere in 2003, 2000 version of Excel. So because I have used Excel over 10-15 years, so I'm used to that particular path. Similarly, if a user is a new user, and because he is starting new, so I would say that you can learn shortcut. Now filter, where is filter? It is under data. So what is the shortcut? Alt A, and for filter it is T, Alt AT. So I am not used to Alt AT, but because you guys are starting new, or because if you are not well versed with the previous shortcuts, so this is the best way to learn shortcuts. Press Alt, see what is the alphabet, press that alphabet, and finally the third. And here I will just suggest you, see, Excel is not about mugging up hundreds and hundreds of shortcuts. The important part is that learn only those shortcuts which you use very frequently. When I say very frequently, like in a day you are using at least 10 to 15 times. So for me, I'm using filter at least 10 to 15 times in a day. So I know filter shortcut. If you ask me what is the shortcut for sort, I don't know. And there is no shame in accepting that you don't know all the shortcuts. So the way to learn shortcut is important. And once you have understood that way, it will be very easy for you to learn those shortcuts. Again, important part, don't try to weigh your knowledge in Excel that you know 100 shortcuts. So you are, let's say, at an advanced level in Excel. Excel shortcuts will help you save time, but at the same time, knowing a shortcut is just a minute's job. It's a second's job. So that is how you can learn shortcuts. And I know all the shortcuts from 2003 2007 version which are of use to you, but you cannot find that trail. As I have showed you that Alt AT is the trail in this version. So my recommendation to you will be, please learn shortcut by this way in your latest version of Excel. This will help you.
Yeah, I completely agree, Vinay. Can you take one more shortcut? Control C, Control V, compare it with, I am also using the older version syntax, Alt E S V, paste special.
Yeah.
So can you compare that and explain to the participants?
Correct. So let's say if you have something like this, 2, 3, and you have a 2 plus 3, 5. I'm just doing some this for you guys, some formatting. Black is only fine. Clear? So this 2 is a number, 3 is a number, 5 on the face of it is a number, but what is embedded in 5 is a formula. Everybody clear? Now let's say if I copy this 2 and 3, so you get 2 and 3. Now suppose if I copy this 2 and 3, so you get 2 and 3. What have you copied here? You have copied the number, and you have also copied the associated format with those cells. Now suppose if you want to copy only the value part of this cell. When I say value part of this cell is, you have to copy paste only and only the 2 and 3, not the color, not the bold portion. So the shortcut is, again, this is an old shortcut from 2003 2007 version, which I am used to it, Alt ES. So Alt ES was Alt edit and paste special kill, it was S. So Alt ES. And Alt ES need to be pressed one by one. First Alt, then E, then S. No need to show press all the 3 buttons at the same time. Here can you see values? So I just select the values. Now see the magic. Only 2 and 3. Only the value portion has been copy pasted. So this is what is paste special values. Similarly, let's say if I copy this and I paste here 5, 5, 5. Now here 5 is coming because everywhere over it is written 2 plus 3. If I press it over here, 0. Why 0? Because on the top 2 cell there is no value. So suppose if you want to copy this 5 and you want to retain this value as 5, then again Alt ES, you want the value part to be retained, values. Okay, so this 5 is retained. So paste special values it is called as. Sorry. Yeah, any questions pertaining to paste special values or any other part? Hello. Yeah, any queries? We can take last query if anything pertaining to what we have done today.
Yeah, there are no queries in the chat box. So while people are typing their queries, let me give my vote of thanks. Vinay, it was pleasure having you, and we appreciate the time that you have taken in teaching and covering various concepts. Thanks for covering data validation, how to use list, how to put constraints that certain the value in a particular cell is restricted between 1 to 10 or 1 to 15 and so forth. Then the concept of index and index along with match, conditional formatting, removing duplicates, and finally the pivot table and couple of shortcuts. We really appreciate this. Let's see if there are any queries. There are no queries in the chat box. I would also like to mention our participants that we have an upcoming session in the next week on Tableau. So Tableau is a tool which is used for dashboarding. Those who are interested in that, you can register for that webinar. My colleague Himanshu has sent the Tableau registration link. So kindly go ahead and do that. Just 2 minutes left and we'll end the session. That if there are no queries, this is our blog page, and you would have noted the entire formatting which we sent you, the Excel, is also done in Excel. So you can understand, you can do good amount of formatting using Excel sheet. The link for the next webinar is also mentioned here at the bottom. And for your information, we will also be having our batch on data science, machine learning, which will be starting from the May 1st weekend. So in case you are looking for any data science course, machine learning course, we will have a 120 hours full-fledged 6-month machine learning course, which is starting from first weekend of May. Interested candidates can put your inquiries. For that, you can visit our website. This is a website, k2analytics.in, and in that k2analytics.in, you can see in the courses machine learning certification program. So Vinay, there are no queries, so I think so you can drop off. Thanks a ton.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.